He married my sister, now we're living together. Roommates in law.
Love it when we both go low.
I know it's morning pod over here. I'm not gonna hit the high notes. I can't hit a high C before noon.
High C before noon.
Whoa, you going sunnies?
Look at
Are those your sunglasses?
Nope, these are Lizzie's.
I was like, I was scared though because
You're like, hey bud, they don't fit your face at all.
I was like, I hope you didn't spend a lot of money on those.
There's a lot of face. A lot too much face coming out on the sides over here.
I like that you did just try talking not into the mic for a second.
I did. Well, I was looking at my phone when you got up to get your coffee, and I was just chitting and chatting, and you were nowhere near your computer. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, hey, Tom. Oh, sick. He's in the other room getting some choff. Well, how we doing, Tom? Forgot we were on the pod.
Doing pretty well. We are not roommates.
Not brothers-in-law.
But we are good friends.
Good friends.
Tom,
riddle me this.
Doing well. Yeah, what's going on?
We got some absolute untouchable weather in the beautiful city of New York. What's going on in this little coffee cup?
Your mic cord. I'm gonna kill myself.
I'm not even touching it.
I think it's when you just move.
Oh, perfect.
Dude, my Uncle James, who you have a very love-hate relationship with.
Oh, it's all love.
Yeah, but you guys started with some beef, I think.
Well, he comes in a little hot sometimes.
I'm
like, James, whoa. This is an all love relationship here, friend.
I saw him in person last week, and I had a flight at like 11 the next day. And something that me and him do together, sometimes we go on runs together. And that's like his love language, just like going on a jog with someone.
Sure.
And so he's like, do you have time for a run tomorrow? I was like, probably not before hitting my flight. He's like, you want to get up at 8 and run? And I was like, I don't get up that early. He goes, I know, you overslept for the pod.
Unbelievable.
And then he goes, also, what's up with Tim? He just can't figure out a chord.
What? I don't know. What am I supposed to do with these chords? I only have one.
Know.
Fits. I don't know. Yeah. No, but James came out hot one time with like, he was giving me the roasty, riffy energy. And I was like, whoa. You and I, we're friends. We're not doing this.
We're going to be friend zoned right here.
We don't need the roasty. We don't need any of that.
Yeah.
Let's just give each other a hug. I don't know. Maybe share a meal. What do you think about that?
And now you guys have you? I don't know.
I don't know. We probably have. We're absolute boys. I mean, we're at the fucking camp together.
Yeah, the cabin. Wait, sorry, I interrupted you. You said riddle me this. What you got going on over there?
A little pumpkin spice in here, Tom.
Whoa, is that a cold brew? It looks like a Guinness.
It's yeah, it does look. Now that I put that up there,
like,
no,
right,
it's a.
Tim's having a hard day at work.
Let's see what we got here. It is a delicious Nespresso, and then it's kind of like an Americano. You brew it, and then it's ice water. Fill it up with water. Bippity boppity, delicious
pumpkin
beverage.
Spice. Look at you.
I know.
All right,
trying to get into the season, Tom. We got Halloween decorations coming up.
You're going
LSU football's on.
Full white girl this fall.
Why not? Why the hell not?
Hot girl fall for Timmy. I like that.
I'm losing weight. I'm feeling good. Come on, Tom.
There we go. Dude, I haven't been drinking the past couple weeks, so I got a bunch of liquid deaths. Dude, I'm fully bought into their branding.
What? See, if this is how I know I'd be a terrible businessman, because of all these like great ideas that work out really well, if you would have pitched me any of them, I'd have been like, stupid. That'll never work.
Yeah.
Liquid death. If somebody said we're going to call it liquid death and it's going to be canned water, I'd be like, so you're one of the dumbest people I've ever met.
I know. And then they nailed it.
And then they nailed it
out of the park. Yeah. There's something about it. It's the right size, and it kind of, people think you're drinking, you know? Yep. I think that's part of it. And also now they've got these flavored ones, this mango sparkling water.
Is this like a fucking Perrier? Is this like sparkling water?
Carbonated?
Yeah. God damn.
Yes, it is.
One too many pumpkin spice Americanos over here, Tom.
You need one more of them. It is.
Out of a can, though. I don't know how I feel out of a can. I think it just serves the purpose of it looks like you're drinking.
Yeah. On stage, it's kind of nice. A lot of comedy clubs have them now.
That's huge. That's what I've been doing with sugar-free Red Bulls.
Yeah, but you gotta watch those intakes.
Why? What's wrong with a sugar-free Red Bull?
I watched you drink 2 of them at 7 p.m. back to back.
Yeah, is that bad?
It's not good.
Wait, why? What's the beef with there's no sugar?
There's no way the rest of the stuff in the sugar free, and I'm right there with you. I drink them on club weekends for sure too.
That's the move.
But I watched you drink 2 of them and then take a nap.
Yeah,
something weird is happening there.
I think that just goes towards maybe Red Bulls are kind of a lie.
Oh, they're not working.
I think it's a placebo effect. You have the Red Bulls here going, here comes the energy, but not necessarily.
But sometimes that energy, it manifests in the form of a nap.
Of a full nap.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing in Madison. I would do
I know,
drink, and then I would just go up. But I was in a massage chair. That's a totally different game, Tom.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. I do drink those once in a while because also comedy clubs always have those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I drank one on Saturday. We had a 3-show night in Fort Collins. That's
what
fun.
time is the first one? 5?
5 It's a weird feeling getting out of a show and it's broad daylight.
And you're like, oh, and I have two more.
Yeah, it's a little disorienting, but also that club is like the best, so it's fun.
I can't imagine purchasing an old ticket for 5p.
Yeah, because these people are pre-dinner.
Yeah, that's wild.
They're going to dinner after a show.
All right, I guess that makes the dinner a little bit easier. You got something to talk about.
Boy,
we hated that second guy. Who was that?
Man, he wanted to tell us about his family. I mean, we get it.
Boy,
I'm a big family. It doesn't make you unique, you idiot.
I made a classic Tim Smith mistake on Saturday. Comic before me was just pissing me off.
Okay.
Doing crowd work doing 8 minutes. You're doing crowd work the whole time, so I'm just kind of stewing.
Is this someone we know?
He's just doing crowd work, and I was getting so mad. And then of course I get up there mad.
Yeah, I can't do that.
What?
It's the same lesson as like that people always say at weddings where they're like, don't go to bed angry. You know?
Yeah. Don't
get on stage, man.
Don't get on stage upset.
No.
And I think I just see it on my face. I have no ability to hide my emotions on my face.
Right. Or in your mind or in your voice. You don't really hide it anywhere.
The words that come out of your mouth or So I can immediately tell, right? I said the first thing, and they were all kind of like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Because what's it? Hey, what are you opening on? Right? Oh, like what are you like? My girlfriend and I just made 11 years.
Made 11 years. God, fucking damn it! I'm like, I don't even know what I said. I didn't get it. I think I was like talking. I was saying something up front, but it was like in a pissed off tone, and they were like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, and then you try to like, oh, let me get back into like some fun, and then they're like, well, I don't know what's happening right now.
This is clearly fake because we just saw the real side of you a second ago.
Saw what you're really feeling, and
Stop
is not
giggling.
this. So that was tough. I really hated that. I haven't stopped thinking about it since. But this is where we're at in life, Tom.
A classic mistake. I will say this: I've been trying to play some of my jokes a little straighter.
Mm-hmm.
Because up until now they've been gay as hell. No, instead of like, I laugh at the end of a lot of my jokes. I think you do the same thing. I think Jeff does the same thing. No, yeah, you never do. Never giggled. People after shows never say, "I like how your little laugh at the end."
I love your laugh up there.
I've heard a million people say that.
What about the jokes I wrote? And they're like, "Oh yeah, those were fun."
Like, what about the thing I was laughing at?
Yeah.
My own joke.
Did you even remember that? Yeah, the thing I wrote and know what I'm about to say. Do you even remember that?
But if you hit that sweet spot between like pretty serious and still having fun, that's kind of the golden zone.
That's where we're trying to find. This is what I was texting you about the other day.
Yeah. I think that's why I was thinking about it. It was that night.
And I just couldn't. I'm watching this set. I couldn't even get. I was like, this is humiliating what I'm doing on stage.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, what was humiliating was the tape being cut short. Can I tell that story real quick?
Lay it on them.
Because here's where I'm at. Is like if I was a worst friend, that could have ended so poorly. So for context, everybody, Tim's submitting to a big thing, and he's like, I wanted to see the tape because, of course, after you submit, then you get in your own head and you're like, I hate it. It's terrible. I shouldn't have sent it. This is gonna go terribly. And I
started looking up average home prices in New Orleans.
You can't afford New Orleans, dude. Look at Baton Rouge for one.
Right when I hit submit, I was like, maybe I should move home.
Yeah. Let's see what Bogaloosa is looking like right now. Lizzie likes to be close to family, you know. So I was like, send the tape, and you didn't want to send it, but I respect you sending it because I don't know if I would have if I was feeling self-conscious about it.
Right.
But you sent the tape, and I'm watching it in a car with Kelsey Cook and David Rodriguez going up to the Comedy Fort. I had the headphones in though. That would be crazy. That would be an insane move in general to watch a video out loud.
They're like, hey, can you turn off this guy bombing? What is this?
He's laughing way too much at his own stuff. But so I'm watching it and I'm giving notes, and you know, a worse friend would have gotten 5 minutes in and said, it's great, Tim. But I watched all the way to the end where in the middle of your last joke, it just cut off. Video just cut short.
I did what the worst friend would do. I watched it to minute 6 and said, bingo.
You didn't even watch
there.
The whole thing.
Didn't watch to the end. I can't watch myself.
It's really hard.
So, I mean, I guess what I should do is make sure the front makes sense and make sure the end makes sense, because there's not going to be a lot in the middle that's going to get fucked up.
No, yeah. It's not, it can't,
you know what I mean?
Fucked in the middle. Yeah, that's a good point. But thank God we caught that. Did you send the follow-up?
Of course I did, yes.
What'd you say on the follow-up?
I'm a fucking idiot. I can't believe this. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I just started comedy. No, I was just like, oops, sent the wrong file.
Yeah, there you go. My friend Tom is a hero. Did you include that?
I said my good friend Tom watched the clip with Kelsey Cook and David Rodriguez. They hated me. I'll never be booked there. But just wanted to send an updated availability. I just can't. I can't watch myself.
No, it's very hard. That's the worst part about posting these clips online is you have to watch the joke so many times because you have to caption it. By the time you're ready to post it, it's like, this fucking sucks.
You're like, oh, this joke is so bad. Because if you really break down any joke, most jokes,
well, it could always be better.
They could always be better. Or you're like,
why did I do that?
What is this?
On tape,
why am I behaving this way? I've been crossing my arms a lot on stage. I don't know what that is.
Actually, that's weird. I've been kind of doing that too, because I always used to go hand in the jacket pocket, and then so many people gave me the note to get my hand out of the pocket.
Well, you're big. You were still using your hand while you were talking, but it was still in your pocket.
It was really.
So it looked like you were doing like the hold up thing, like you had a gun in your pocket, and you were like, "Give me all the fucking money."
I do kind of want them to think that.
Instead, you're telling a joke about having 8 sisters, but
6.
So what have you? What's been the move there? I got to figure out
now.
Something new
so
on
I'm
stage.
trying to keep. Well, but now I'm doing the Gillis thing a little too much, where I'm talking from right here. You know. All right. You're reading Twitter.
Where you're.
I'm doing this a lot, and then I'm like, well, now I'm doing that. So then I'm like, under the armpit. But that's what I did when I first started, and this is not good body energy.
I was about to say it's a defensive pose.
This is fear.
It's not letting it out. It's no good. That's what I've been doing, and I hate it.
Yeah, I do it on a couple punchlines where it is like kind of in defense, and it's like you can do that if it's part, but like not setting up a confident premise like this.
I don't even know why I started doing that. I used to be hand guy. I used to be out mixing it up.
Get that hand back involved, dude.
All of a sudden,
it's been bored.
All of a sudden, now it's under my armpit. No clue why that started.
I don't know. Sorry if I rubbed off. Dude, I have pictures from when I started stand up.
Tom, never be sorry about rubbing off in front of me, dude.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you.
Bingo.
Yeah. Sharing a hotel again soon.
Dude.
I've seen some pictures when I started. My hand is halfway to the middle of my back. Like I was tucking it so intensely, and I'm like, oh, you're just scared of.
Oh, you're terrified. That's what you are. I went through a little phase of where I would just itch.
I actually kind of remember that.
I would just have
used
my
to itch
hand
your face a lot.
Itch my face, and then I would just stick my all the way into my back and just kind of like itch my back. I don't know. And now I'm shoving it just as deep into my armpit as it can go, and I'm like not scared on stage, so I don't know what's happening in my brain.
I don't know. It's scary. It's you got all of a sudden when you notice your hand, it is a lot. You're like, oh, there's so much I could do with this.
Then it's a little daunting. Yeah. But
I don't
then
know.
I was going through the
mic
phrase.
stand.
Then I was doing the double hand. I was doing that for a while.
Yeah, I still do this a little bit.
I don't know if that fits my energy though.
It's a little bowy.
And it's a little like one-linery.
Yeah. What
and
about
I'm mixing it up. I'm on there riffing.
I've been thinking about leaving the mic in the stand and going 2 hands free. And then I can really paint a picture with my hands, you know?
I do always respect the people that get up there and just go right into the mic.
I actually
I think
kind
it's a
of
cool
like the
move.
I don't have a confident enough like opening line, I don't think, but I like the people that say one thing into the mic in the stand, get
the
pop,
joke
and
out,
then they take it out.
And
that's
they
kind of a
take it
fucking
out.
rock star move.
It is kind of sick because like it's gonna get a huge pop, and like you're taking the mic stand into the back of the stage while the laughter is going on. You're kind of like, yeah, you guys settle down. Let me take care of the mic stand.
I might start trying to do that.
Kind of a sick move, honestly, but that also feels like a one-liner move.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. Maybe I'll make that transition too. I got some stuff for you, Timmy.
Lay it on me, Tomas.
First off, this is making me laugh. This kind of reminds. I don't know. I was on a walk this morning, and walking around my neighborhood. I'm getting my weekly. This is my when we do the pod early. This is my. I'm a neighborhood guy.
Hey, how you doing,
Morning.
Frank?
Yeah.
Morning.
Hey, Jimbo. He's like, that's not my name. And I'm walking around my neighborhood. There's a couple dog training facilities or like doggy daycares around me.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is called I said sit with an exclamation point.
No, this is the place right next to your sister's in Chicago. They
Is that
branched
also
out.
Called that?
Yeah, it's called I Said Sit.
No way.
Yeah.
No. The one next to the Avondale place.
Yeah.
That was called something else, wasn't it?
Let me see here. Because we always used to be like, wait, what the fuck?
Maybe that's why this is making me laugh so hard. Well, this place does not look like a branch. It's like almost boarded up.
Oh, no. This one's called Sit Means Sit Dog Training.
Yeah. Dude, so this place, okay, so it's very similar vibes. This place has like literally bars on the windows. It says, I said sit, and it's like, you know those driveways with the weeds coming through?
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of thing. I'm like, those dogs are getting hit.
Can you, the dog owner that brings their dog there, like, they're trying to get rid of their dog, but they don't really know how to do it in a way where they won't get in trouble.
Yeah, so they're trying to get someone else to like ruin the dog to a point where they're like, we have to get rid of this.
We can't. I'm sorry, we can't. This thing's aggressive out of nowhere. I mean, we took it to this chill place called fucking Sit for once, and all of a sudden,
I'll beat the shit out of you, you fucking dog.
Sit or else.
Dude, I've been laughing about it my whole walk back because there's a place like 2 doors down from it that's like sweet little doggy daycare or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
there's
got flowers in the front yard.
Bow Wow or something like that. Not sit,
wow.
Fuck. Bow Wow.
I was trying to think of a paw thing. Paw.
It's like the Paw Patrol. Yeah,
there we go.
Paws and I don't know. Yeah, you can't. That's too much. That's like a driving school. That's like fucking go straight, dude.
I'll run into you head on with my car.
I swear to God, if you don't park this car right, LLC.
And there's an exclamation point on the end of it.
See, these are run by like Russian mobsters that think that's like a good front.
Yeah,
but they don't know how obvious it is.
No, I said sit.
God, that rules. You need to just like kind of go get
a dog,
like a dog from the pound and just, get in there and mix it up a little bit. You can always return the dog, but you got to get in there and get your eyeballs on this thing.
I have a stray cat that lives in my backyard. Do you think I could just bring that in?
Well, that's a cat.
I know, but I wouldn't mind if that cat sat when I said it.
Yeah, that's not a bad point. You could also just be like, nah, this is like a rare breed of dog.
Yeah,
looks a lot
once
like
again,
a cat.
Russian mobsters front.
They don't know.
I could hand them a rat and they'll be like,
sure,
this is a small dog.
As long as you pay us $700 a month in cash, we're good.
Yeah.
That
dude,
rules.
Speaking of, this stray cat, I've never had this happen before. Well, we have a cat fully living in our yard.
That's fun. You feeding it?
I'm not really. My roommate Brett will sometimes give it like some veggies or something, like if he's like cooking. But I didn't know if we should be feeding it because it's a stray cat. I mean, it is a street cat. And then we were setting up for Red Show Blue Show last week, and it's on top of our little. We have like a little covered pergola, or what's it called? I think it's called pergola. I think that's what they're called. Cupola? I don't know. It's like it's over the bar in our backyard. It's a little covered thing.
A Francis Ford cupola.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. And the cat is on top of there, and I just see it catch a mouse. And
that
then
rules.
Walk down the tree with the mouse in its mouth, sat in the middle of our yard as we're setting up the show, and just stared at us and ate this mouse whole.
See,
in front of our face.
Because cats just don't need you like at all.
No, I was like, oh, we don't need to be feeding this. This thing just lives in our yard and it's fine.
He found a safe little space. It's like rich with mice. He can hunt. He can do his thing.
Keeps the mice away.
Hey, free show alert too. He gets to stand around and watch couple of good comics get up there and riff. That's not bad.
He gets to see everyone's like 8 before they record.
I know. My boy gets a dinner and a show. Nobody's mad at that. This cat rules.
Yeah.
Did you name it Mittens?
No, your name's Mittens now. You live with me. That's also a Tim Smith original. No, I called it. Wait, my roommates named it Dilby.
Okay,
but I forgot that, and I thought it was Nibbler. So I've been calling it Nibbler. They've been calling it Dilby.
Can't say I'm thrilled with Dilby.
I think it comes from something, and I don't know what the reference is.
Maybe like Dilbert.
Maybe
Dilby.
I don't know.
Nibbler's kind of fun. It doesn't really roll off the tongue very well.
No.
Nibbler. Here, Nibbler.
I mean, cats don't respond to names anyways. Cats don't give a shit about you.
You gotta name it like Socks. That's a good cat name.
Socks is a good cat name. Maybe
does it have or its feet like black or a different color? Gotta name it Socks.
It's no, it's one of those nice like orange and white ones, you know? Like it doesn't really look like it was originally a stray.
Gotta go Garfield then. Maybe it just ran away. Probably some pit bulls came into its yard and he was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, because I said sit, and they did not.
It did not sit.
No.
Have I told you that the pit bull angle I'm trying to work on? It's not working at all.
Yeah. Dude, it's so funny. I saw on Twitter.com these days, as we've discussed, they just show you videos of people getting beaten up, hit by cars, shot
falling
by
off a roof. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's insane.
Appreciate it, Elon.
I saw a video that was like dog attack in I don't remember where it was, but it was it's pit bulls.
Of course.
One pit bull starts biting this kid. They're at like a fenced-in dog park, but like these guys were outside the fenced area with their dogs, and a pit bull grabbed a kid's arm and starts like going to town on it. Like this kid's arm is toast.
Sure.
And then another pit bull starts freaking out, also attacks the kid. Then somebody else starts dumping milk on the dogs, which I didn't know was a strategy.
Okay.
And
it's something.
It kind of was working, weirdly enough. And so then they start attacking this guy. Now ends up being like 3 pit bulls start going nuts because then they all are worked up.
They're frantic, yeah.
And one of the guys is running around going, calm down, like to everyone. It's like my arm's getting mauled off. I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me be zen for a second.
Yeah, sorry, my little kid's getting mauled to death here.
Yeah,
not exactly chilled out. I'm telling you,
now
animals.
What was amazing is everyone jumped the fence into the fenced-in area that was originally meant for the dogs. The people had to get in there.
They're menaces to society. I don't understand, Tom.
Yeah,
I think somebody in the UK, the mayor of the UK, I don't know what you call it, prime minister, is trying to make them illegal. He's trying to ban these things.
Wow,
they should be.
Yeah, I mean, once again, I said it last week. We have so many breeds of dogs. Just too many
they're dying. They're just dying to love you. That's all they want to do.
We've done it. Like we did it. We like the whole animal breeding thing that we were trying to domesticate dogs. We did it with so many breeds.
Found some great ones. It did really take to this one breed. And hey, you know what? That's fine.
It's fine.
That's fine. But just let's,
it didn't take for wolves either.
No.
You can get a husky. That's the same way with pit bulls. Get a bulldog.
Get a bulldog. They're sweet. Even if they wanted to fuck you up, they can't. They'll try their best. They'll be out of breath in 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
What's
the Mulaney line again? He's like, she has trouble breathing by design or something like that.
I mean, that's the thing. You got to get one of these that's just a genetic disaster. Even if they wanted to harm you, they just can't do it. Don't get a 140-pound death machine that just might freak out.
So strong. I'm so weak. I can't do that.
So strong and so mean.
Yeah.
Anywho, I digress. Don't get a pit bull.
Yeah. Did you get any zeros of the week this week?
Tom, I'm telling you, I think I'm experiencing just kind people in the world. Or maybe everyone in New York is at such a level of asshole where nobody can really jump out at me.
I think you got to
How's that?
Yeah, maybe. Wow, maybe that's a year in. That's what you become.
Maybe like my gauge is so off right now.
And people are being zeros around you all the time, but you're just.
But I'm like, damn, that dude's pretty sick as hell. That was awesome.
This guy's being cool. And
damn, this guy threw a beer bottle straight at my head. This guy's kind of a nice guy.
It was full. I drank it.
Yeah, it didn't break. So I mean, it's like free beer.
It's a free Heineken.
Thanks, strange man.
Heineken do.
That's a big Heineken do. Yeah, I don't know. I'm out in the world and I'm looking. Don't get me wrong. I'm looking.
Good. I'm looking and I'm hoping. I had on my flight back yesterday from Colorado. I mean, it's like comical. Two crying babies in my row, not like in my full row, in the two seats next to me.
They're not related couple. Either, right?
They were.
Okay.
Young couple. They've got it's maybe I think it was an 8-month-old and almost a 2-year-old. So kind of Irish twin situation.
What does that mean?
Irish twins is like when you're like as close together as possible.
Oh, it's like that baby popped out pregnant a month later.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't really know what the Irish stereotype is there, but
probably because y'all just have so many fucking kids, you just crank them out, bippity boppity boo.
We just bang.
Just absolutely
can't stop banging.
God, you guys are so horny and cool.
So horny and Irish. So first off, I feel for the parents. Like, you sit down. I sat down, and it's like now it's honestly like now that like my siblings are parents too. I'm like you forget that like parents are just idiots. Like they don't know what they're doing either.
Right.
And so I'm like, I sit down. I'm like, how old is he? It's kind of like I'm looking at my fate.
Wait, so where are you in this seating arrangement?
I'm window.
Oh, so you're really in there.
8-month-old is in the middle with the mom. Dad's got the 2-year-old. And I'm in there, but I got noise canceling headphones. It's like, I'm really not worried about it. And I turn, I'm like, how old, whatever. And I'm like, did you guys time the naps? She's like, well, this one wouldn't go down. We tried, she's like, the 8-month-old should be fine. He's a happy baby. Honestly, I almost held the kid, which I felt super weird about. But
why?
he kept leaning, he kept reaching for me. And she goes, you can. And I go,
I probably should.
I don't need to. Yeah. And it's like, I kind of wanted to. He's a cute kid, but I'm like, I don't want to hold a stranger's baby. That feels weird. What if I drop him or something?
Well, also, what are you going to do? You're going to hold it and just be like, yeah, that's this. Yep.
And then like pass it. It kind of, kind of do like
solid weight.
Like you're like weighing like a big, brisket. I'm like, this will be good. This will turn out well.
Chunky as hell. He's going to grow. Look at the feet on this guy. Solid.
But
or what you would do.
Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah, that's a good question. If someone handed you their baby, what's the appropriate amount of time to hold it?
I mean, you got to go sub 30 seconds.
Really?
I mean, you can't like make a meal of it. It can't be a 5-10 minute thing.
Well, but sub 30 feels like kind of like when you open a gift and you're like, all right, great, next gift. You gotta appreciate it.
That's exactly what it is. I don't want to hold your baby.
Yeah,
I don't even know you, lady.
I know.
Hold my baby. Honestly, bad parenting. What are you doing? You're giving it to a stranger?
I mean, I'm a sweet looking kid.
Yeah, but still, those are always
and we're making conversations.
Ones, Tom.
I'm talking about, dude. I'm not a pedophile. We're talking about my nieces and nephews. I'm like, oh yeah, well, my nephew's 1, and God, he's like already way bigger than him. We're bantering, and she's like, yeah, he eats a lot, and I'm like, yeah, it looks like it. Did
you guys get into the percentiles? Did you guys get into that whole mess?
Not really. She did say something about his head being at the top of it.
The head.
Kid had a big old noggin. So, anyways, whatever. We're doing this. 2-year-old starts crying about halfway through the flight. This is a 2.5-hour flight. So we got like, I don't know, an hour-ish left, and he starts crying. And then it becomes like the scream cry where it's like, it's like panicky.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're hitting, and the only time he stopped was when his dad walked down the aisle with them. He let him like walk down the aisle. And now we're time to buckle up. We got to start the descent 30 minutes out, and he is screaming. And I was just watching this guy across the aisle, across and one seat in front. He kept looking back. I hate the guy that looks back judgmentally.
Well, I don't know what he's looking to accomplish here.
Yeah, it's like, dude, they know this is a living nightmare for these parents. I mean,
it's like, is he looking at the parents like control your kid, or is he hoping to somehow make eye contact with the baby, and then the baby's going to be like, "No, you're right. This is actually fucked up. I should."
My bad, dude. I didn't realize you were trying to watch Spider-Man.
Fuck, dude. Yeah. I know you've seen Michael Clayton 30 times, but I didn't mean to ruin. I don't know what he's going for here. That's the Louis joke where he's like, "Oh, sorry, let me just," and he mimes choking the baby to death. Yeah. And he's like, "Hey, here you go. Is that what you wanted?"
It's exactly. And I was like, because I didn't have a 0 of the week yet. I'm like, do it. Say something, motherfucker.
I'll jump over this fucking chair right now. These babies I never met.
I was so mad he didn't say anything. I was dying for him to say, because he looked like the guy that would say something. He was wearing a quarter zip. And he kind of had he had kind of slicked combed hair, but it was very thin.
Oh no. How old are we talking?
40s, early 40s.
He says something, you immediately just go, shave it. Hey,
let it go, friend.
Hey, shave it, dude. You look horrible. He just immediately opens the exit door, jumps out.
Yeah. Also, get a new quarter zips are done, my friend.
Out. They're out.
Patagonia? You can't look. No, like it was like a Nautica type brand.
Nautica.
Could have been Polo, could have been Lacoste, something in that. It's like light blue.
Boo. Get
a crew neck, idiot.
Here's what I can. Here's where I can understand the guy. When there is a big like ruckus somewhere, I do want to look over and just see what the situation is.
Oh, look over once.
But you did he pretend to stretch? Did he pretend to see what the line of the bathroom was?
Not really. He was doing the look back like, Jesus, what's happening there?
Yeah, no, see, that's no good, but I don't mind you putting your eyeballs on something and then you're done.
Right, then you're done. Also, get noise-canceling headphones. If you're going to be judgmental on a plane, we have the solution. They've done it for you.
Act like you've been on a plane before, dude.
Yeah,
maybe cut down on the quarter zips, invest in some noise canceling. Idiot.
I got 2 things for you. Haircut, noise-canceling headphones. Bose makes a great headphone. It'll fit right on top of your bald little head, nice and comfy.
It just, like I said, checking out. It's like what everybody stops to see what's going on the interstate when there's a bunch of traffic. I understand that.
Yeah, you don't roll down your window and say, "Who fucked up here?"
Dad, dude, you really wrecked that car. She looks so dead. You're like, no. You don't do that. You don't rub it in.
I just hate it because they don't want to be in that situation. Then we land, and it was this. Do you remember the Dan Soder joke about the crying baby?
No.
Where he's like, yeah, scream the whole flight. It's like, whatever. I can't judge that. And then they land, and the kid's like, "Mom, are we there?" And it's like, "Motherfucker, you can talk?" Because he wasn't like fully talking, but he did say something like, she was like, "All right, like, are you ready to get off the plane?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like,
it's like, oh, wait. The ability to communicate has been here the entire time?
Yeah, then I was a little pissed.
Because it is, if the kid can't communicate, there's nothing that can be done.
Right. He's upset because he can't communicate that he hates being on this plane that you guys.
His ears hurt.
Yeah. Oh,
also,
that was I thought I was really trying to go hero of the week with this family. Maybe I was feeling like emotional or nostalgic or sentimental, or I just spent a bunch of time with my nieces and nephews. But the mom was like, this is fun. You ever see like there was clearly a fight and now this is the aftermath of it. She sits down. She's got the 8-month-old. 2-year-old is playing with the TV on the back of the seat, and she goes, Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to watch because Dad forgot your headphones. And Dad goes, "Yeah, I did we left them. We left them at home." And I'm like,
Yeah, I
"Ooh,
was in a bit of a hurry because your mom decided to not pack until the very last minute when I told her that we needed to be ready 3 hours before. But your mom doesn't give a shit about the things that I say.
no." And she always says, "No, we can drive and we can park and it won't take extra time, but you got to wait for the shuttle." And is the shuttle ever on time? No. So no,
Oh.
sorry, you can't watch Paw Patrol. It was so clearly a fight at one point.
Well, they're talking to the baby, but the baby has nothing to do with it. They're yelling at each other.
Yes, dude.
The whole time.
It was really fun to see. I was like, I'm just over there smiling by myself.
See, that's a level of passive aggression that like they've been together for a while.
Mm-hmm.
When you're able to yell at your spouse,
get one
indirectly through the baby, that's pro stuff right there. That's not
really
some rookie shit.
No, that's a couple extra body shots without having to admit that you are throwing them.
Yeah, for almost no reason at all, too.
Yeah, and loud enough for me to be involved.
I love that. I mean, to the kid, well, your dad forgot. She could have just said, "We don't have them." Yeah,
yeah. So then when he's crying, I said because they tried the in-ear ones that they hand out on the plane.
Never gonna work.
And no, the kid he ripped them out right away. And I think they're too big for a little kid's ear.
Yeah, they don't fit in anybody's ears. These are nightmare headphones.
True. Yeah, they are so bad. They're like Legos that you put into your ear.
I really, really hate them, but because you have to sit there with your like keeping them in your ear the whole time, and I'm like, oh my god, Michael Clayton just got the documents. Just got the documents from the from Kinko's, and he's about to blow this whole thing wide open. And guess what's falling out? Headphones, Tom.
Headphones. So I go, does he want these? I have another pair of headphones. And
you were really invested in this,
dude. I think I'm going through something. Like
you were like trying. You're like, hey, look, if it doesn't work out with this dude, I could easily step in and be a good dad.
Maybe that's what I was doing subconsciously.
There's poor guys on the other side, like, hey, chill the fuck out over there.
Hey,
26C.
I know I forgot the headphones, dude. What are you trying to fuck my wife?
You don't know the entire backstory though. Stop trying to fuck my wife on this Delta flight, asshole.
I'm currently holding his second born.
Hey, give me my fucking kid back.
Dude, I was really involved with this family. They're going to Hawaii. I hope they have a great time.
Starting off.
But
good.
So they put my headphones on his ears. He rips them off right away, and they're like, I was like, man, I'm about to save this whole flight. Because I thought if he stopped, how great would that have felt though if he stopped crying when I gave him my headphones?
And everybody, you just get a standing O.
Yeah, I just punched the Nautica guy right in the face.
Tom. They immediately put you in first class.
Yes, riding out of there, I would have felt amazing. Instead, he threw him off. Kind of ripped the cord out. I was like, all right, dick.
Well, Tom, here's the beauty of your personality is you're always looking to provide some value.
Yeah, try to.
You're always how can I enhance this situation? This is a beauty of my fat ass would have been in there with my headphones on, sound asleep, probably making eye contact with the bald vest guy. Like, I mean, these people, can you believe this shit?
No, you would have hated that guy too.
That's if anyone's confused what zero behavior is.
Yeah.
That's zero behavior.
It's that. It was hard to really give him zero because he never quite crossed the line, but boy, was he sitting on the line.
Well, if that's how he's reacting in that situation, just imagine how he's reacting in a situation where he feels like he's a little bit more justified.
Yeah, I would have loved to like follow him to the Uber lot and see an Uber cancel on him. See how he behaves then.
Oh, he'd have lost his mind.
You know,
he's
Uber didn't get out
and
Uber
come
support.
Get his bag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get? Am I putting this in the trunk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm putting it in the trunk. Thanks, though.
Excuse me, it's because I'm on the phone. He has no headphones in his ears.
Have you seen those guys where they just kind of stand there and wait for the person to get out and come get their luggage?
Honestly, with Ubers, I feel weird when they do it.
I know, because it's really awkward because they come over and try to grab it, but I already have it, and I kind of like elbow them out. And it's like I'm trying to be nice, but I am kind of boxing this guy out. It looks like it's. I hope they don't. Wow, I hope they're not interpreting it like, "Hey, don't touch my shit."
Oh no, I don't think that's it. I think it's all body language, but as long as you're like, "Oh, yeah, I got it."
I'm just kind of like, no, it's all good. I can. But then when it is really heavy and I'm lifting it up, I'm like, God, I wish he'd have picked this.
My back is kind of sore. I slept weird on that flight.
It's a 45-pound bag.
I was holding the baby the entire flight. So, the only time I get it is where I'm like, oh yeah, you absolutely should put this in. Is like I had an Uber yesterday where like he opened his trunk and he just had like a ton of shit in there.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really want to just throw my stuff on top of your stuff.
Or start like maneuvering all year. I don't know what's valuable.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to touch it. So he moved all his shit out, and it's like that. Okay, that makes sense. You take the lead here, pal. But
also,
if it's an
Uber
open
driver,
trunk, yeah, clear out the trunk.
What are you doing?
It was like full of shit.
Like you're heading to the airport to pick somebody else.
Surely
like they won't have bags. No chance they have a bag.
No, he just had like a bunch of clothes in there.
Well, that kind of bums me out. That sounds like an Uber driver that is currently living in his workplace.
I didn't really think about that.
What kind of car was he in?
Man, he bought a car that he now has to work inside of it. It's another Tim joke. It's actually my favorite Tim Smith joke. It's his world famous Uber joke.
Oh boy, it's really top tier. I don't know. Well, you haven't heard my new Minneapolis airport sign joke, Tom.
Yeah, I have.
Well, I haven't heard the latest version.
I heard it like a week ago.
Well, it's been tweaked and changed, and boy, it's really fun.
There we go. Good.
I love new.
Well, Tim, you got any other tales, or can I tell you about this nightmare gig I did last week?
Oh, brother, I got nothing better than you at your high school doing 30. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I went back to Cretin-Derham Hall High School in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Shout out St. Paul.
I graduated.
The patron saint of doing 30.
Yeah, it was Joseph Cretin. He was the first guy to riff, actually. He's the first guy to say, this guy knows what I'm talking about.
Come on, sir, you listening? He knows what I'm talking about.
Dude, so it's an alumni event. I think I maybe briefed this on the pod last week, but it's an alumni event. Theoretically, open invite to everybody who's ever graduated from there. What they didn't tell me, and I found out day of, so I went at about noon, because the first time they've ever done this, I'm like, I just gotta go see. Maybe I can help with the setup. I gotta go see if the layout.
Provide a little value. Can I help out?
Well, this is more selfish. This is like, if I can make this venue better at all for me, I'm trying to have this show go as best as possible, because I want them to have me again, because they're paying. Yeah,
a little Machiavellian, but still, you're there to help.
It is. Oh, it's for sure. Yeah, no, I'm not. This is not just goodness of my heart. So I go and it's in the gym. It's in the big gym. It's 4 basketball courts wide.
Good.
And it's
ceiling's about 90 feet tall.
I would say, a good half mile high ceilings.
Sure.
The good thing is, though, the sound only comes out of the ceiling.
Well, so it doesn't echo that much then.
No, it's kind of the right amount of echo where if you time it right, they can hear the last thing you said right as you're saying the next thing.
It's kind of like when you see the light of a star and you're like, oh, that light is actually 4 billion years old. That's not fresh light.
No, they're like, that premise was actually 2 minutes ago.
That has traveled through the solar system to my eyeballs. So when you're closing up, you were just hitting that first punchline as you were saying, thanks guys.
Yeah, I was
so much.
I was sprinting out the front door and they were hearing my opening riff. It was so like, we do a little sound check and it's like, it's one of those things where I was like, oh, this is so far gone. Like, there's nothing I can edit.
There's no chance. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I guess I could hear that. So
technically there is sound
at 7. Yeah. And then I go, like, my aunt teaches there, and I have a couple other teachers that, like, the lady running it, she was like, everyone wants to say hi to you. You gonna go say hi? And I was like, all right, that's fun. I'll go say hi to people. I ran into the principal, who was the principal when I was there. I tap her on the shoulder, give her a big hug. I go, how are you? She goes, I am worried.
You're like, good.
Here's the problem, dude. Somebody sent around to all the faculty, like, I recently made a lot of my clips not visible on YouTube because we're gonna release some stuff soon, and I want them to watch that.
Sure.
So one of the ones that's still visible is like the opening 4 jokes are all about the Catholic Church and like priests and stuff. And
like the shenanigans they've been up to.
Yeah, butthole stuff. like stuff where you wouldn't want him to hold your baby for a whole plane ride.
Correct, yes.
I'm talking pedophilia, Tim. It's very
rape.
serious.
We're talking child rape is what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Brought to you by the Catholic Church.
Just to be clear. That brings me to our sponsor. Roommates in Law is brought to you by the Catholic Church.
The Diocese of St. Paul, Minnesota.
The Archdiocese of St. Paul. Throw 10 in the bucket. You know where it's going. It's a good cause. See you later.
It's going to settlement payments to several small children.
Over 1.2 billion served in the last year. Anyways, that was just some cold hard facts coming at you from Tim and Tom. But I go, why are you worried? She's like, well, watch some of your YouTube. All the faculty members watched this clip. So now everybody that I saw, every teacher that I saw was like, how you feeling?
Hey, how we doing?
I was like, what is this energy? It was so like I was gonna get up there and be like, fuck the Catholic Church.
Fuck this fucking place. It wasn't the best 4 years of my fucking life.
Like, I'm not an idiot. That's what I kept saying. I eventually, like, after this third person, I was like, hey, I'm not an idiot. I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, but like, they don't know.
Yeah,
they think that's what you're doing. They, made everything else where they can't see. They're certainly not going, I'm sure he's done news since then.
he's been writing.
He's been on the road. He's been writing. I heard he went through a little creative arc recently where he got a lot of good new. No, they're watching this. They're going, this is his shit. Yeah. He's about to skewer this place.
Yeah, it was hilarious energy going into it. And so then whatever, I go back and
I mean, you sent me a photo. It looked like the average age was 93 years old.
Dude, so what they didn't tell me till day of is this used to be, before the schools merged, it used to be Cretin, which is an all-boys military school, and Durham Hall, which is an all-girls school. And Cretin, it used to just be a Cretin event. And so they have a lot more pride in this event. And it was the 60-year reunion of the Cretin class of 1963.
Oh, good.
And they're at the ripe young age of 78, and that's was when that was 50%.
Last time they saw stand-up comedy,
it was literally Bob Hope. Yeah, I mean, I was up there. I was Tom No Hope.
Yeah,
I could have said hopeless. It would have been better.
That's still fun.
But yeah, they were about half the audience, and they all sat right up front because they want to be able to hear, because they can't, because time has beat the shit out of them, because their generation went through 2 wars and factory jobs. Correct, and now they got to listen to this little twink talk about fucking families.
I mean, right when you walked up, they're like,
we have no respect for this
anymore. No,
dude, that
there
hasn't
been a man born.
One of my only lines that hit was like, I was talking about how I was student body president. I got elected when I was 5'1" and a theater kid. I'm like, can you imagine how embarrassed all of the Cretin grads are for our now generation that I was the elected leader?
This is our leader.
This is who we picked. Jesus Christ, we're fucked. But yeah,
there we go. So there you got a pop on that one.
I got a little something on a couple opening riffs about Cretin and about me being student body president, and then it's like
you just saw people take their oxygen masks off, and they're like, "Yeah, pretty good,
dude." No, the reality of it was the only people laughing were the younger people in the back. Literally everyone up front. At first, I thought I was bombing. About 3 minutes in, I'm like, oh, they legit can't hear me. Like,
yeah.
I mean, there's people there's old guys doing this thing, holding up the fingers.
I mean, did you address that at all?
A little bit, but not really, because I also don't want to be like, hey, you deaf idiots.
Yeah, no,
like
100%.
I tried slowing down a little bit, but it's the acoustics in the gym. I mean, dude, my parents were like the youngest people there. My parents came. They have really transitioned into an overly supportive role.
They're at every show.
It's too much.
It's incredible.
And I mean, they couldn't hear most of it. And like, they know.
Also, if you slow it down a little too much, it's a little patronizing
and not good.
It's like, so then, sir, So I have six. Hold up your fingers. Six sisters.
This many. I have this many.
Are you with
sisters.
me? Okay. I think. Excuse me. He's shitting his pants right now.
I mean, it was a battle. And pretty instantly had the sweat on the back. That classic thing.
Were you behind the podium?
Yeah, I was. Well, I was kind of next to it. They left the podium up there. They go, "We're gonna leave the podium up there for you." And I go, "Can we move
why?
it?" And they go, "Not really."
Can you not? Yeah.
Yeah, it was hilarious. But there was like probably 10 to 15 like younger generation people, and they all stood way in the back. I was like, I need you guys.
Yeah, but like, of course they're gonna stand in the back.
Yeah, I get
They're not
it.
coming up front. They're not sitting with Grandpa.
It was crazy. And then afterwards, I got so many people just coming up being like, it seemed really funny. Like, I heard like, well, dude, like no one heard it. That's all everyone said to me afterwards was like, I couldn't understand you. The parts I could hear seemed funny. And I was like, okay, I mean, dude, the priest went right before me and said a prayer. I mean, it was just a nightmare gig.
So theoretically, you could have done all of your priest rape material and nobody would have known the difference.
I know. They would have been like, yeah, he was talking about Father John. I didn't really catch it, but it seemed good.
This guy rips, dude. It seemed funny, Tom. You're like, I just said 45 on child rape, but dude, yeah.
I got a LinkedIn message the next morning from like a lady that was like, I just wanted to say it was not your fault last night. The acoustics were so bad. Most people couldn't understand what you're saying. I called the school to let them know.
Oh, yes. I'm kind of the most shocking part of that is that you still checked on LinkedIn.
I got like an email notification.
Oh, right.
I'm not scrolling LinkedIn anymore.
I was like, what? Who are you getting on LinkedIn? You're like, oh, nice. Just connected with Gaffigan. That's huge.
I'm trying to open for him. Oh man, dude, it was so bad. And like, I mean, I appreciate what they're trying to do because the whole point was they're like, I mean, their whole entire point was like, this event is so old every year, and our customer base is not getting bigger if it's just the older classes.
We got to get these young people involved here.
Yeah, so we got to come up with something. And somebody threw my name out as a suggestion, and they were like, there we go. And there were some people that came out that were classmates of mine or around my time or classmates of my sisters. And it's like, that part's working. Let's make it a decent show. There's a beautiful theater in the school. Do the theater.
Do it there. Well, here's the thing. You're like the guy what is it called? First through the wall always takes the most damage. You're the first guy through the wall.
This is the only situation in which I could be first through the wall. Doing 25. It's not going to be in a real battle situation, I'll tell you that.
I mean, I just can't imagine. I mean, when you told me that you took that gig, I was like, well, first of all, huge mistake.
Yeah, but I need money.
Right. It did pay you money.
They tossed
but also,
some coin.
You and I are completely different in that you like to perform in front of people that you know.
Yeah, I mean, I like writing. I mean, the only stuff that hit was stuff I wrote that day about
the school.
Shit, yeah. It's kind of a fun exercise, you know? It's like those jokes will live and die that day, but it's like keeps you fresh, you know?
Keeps your mind cooking, I guess. Yeah, I think that's a great way to look at it. I certainly would never look at it that way or ever do that ever, but
I kind of wish I had filmed it, if I'm being honest. I wish I had a camera on the crowd and a camera on me, because I mean, it would have just been fun to go back and forth between my like
did you hit just full autopilot at one point where you're like, okay, I'm at minute blah blah blah, I gotta just get through this thing?
Not really. I really was trying not to do that because I did that like when I was bombing in Dubuque a couple weeks ago, but this one was more like,
I guess it's higher stakes.
I gotta tell them we're having fun because, one, I kind of felt like, you know, they were paying me enough where I'm like, I can't be like, this sucks, this is a bad gig, you guys suck, you know? Like,
also, it's like all of your peers and people you grew up with, and
yeah, exactly. Like my family's name is kind of on the line here.
Yeah, like that'd be a really tough look.
Yeah, I couldn't really
this fucking gig. Everybody just looking over at your parents.
Yeah. So I tried to like have fun the whole time, and like, you know, it's kind of that. It's one of those things where it's like, if I'm having fun, they'll kind of believe that it's fun.
Well, that's that,
and that seemed to be
proven.
how
they're
it
all
went.
like seemed fun.
Yeah, that was
Seemed somebody at least. Hey, man, at least you were having fun.
The bartender, the catering company bartender was like, dude, I loved it, and I was like, thank you, man.
I needed that. I needed that.
I wish you would have sat in the crowd.
You're like, okay, maybe it wasn't that bad. Then you open up your LinkedIn.
Yeah, it was tough. Reading the LinkedIn message was so funny. It was the next morning. I called the school to let them know. Like, they got a phone call that was like, hey, I know Tom really bombed last night, but it seemed like he was having fun.
And they're like, well, we just need to adjust the acoustics in the gymnasium. Like, no, those are pretty set in stone, honestly.
Also, dude, this is funny. The AV guy, he's like, he works for the school, but he's like a family friend. He's someone I've known. He's like maybe 4 years older than us. Mm-hmm. He's someone I've known my entire life. He's like a family friend. And I show up, whatever, we're doing sound check, and he's like, it's in a gym. Like, this is not great. Mm-mm. But he's trying to set my mic right. You know, he's like, he's trying to do the best he can. During my set, I see like several people walk over to him and say something. And he's like, yeah, I know. And then afterwards, I was like, yeah, I'm not sure that they could really hear. And he goes, I know, it's in a gym.
Yeah, he's like, I'm in a 9,000 square foot gymnasium.
It was like, it was so clear that 30 people had told him that he needed to fix it.
Hey, can you? Because we can't really. He's going, what would you like me to do?
These speakers were only designed for halftime announcements.
Yeah,
like that's it. Which is so funny because like as soon as I was on stage, I flashed back to like, I'm like, oh yeah, we had like all school mass in here, could never hear a thing. I did like my student council campaign speech in here. No one could hear anything. Like, why did I think this would be different?
But next year, here's the thing. They're going to have you back. You think they'll have you back?
I would love to go do it in the theater.
In the theater?
Yeah.
Maybe in a smaller room. Maybe make it more of an event where you like got to get tickies. And people are like, sorry, Tom sold out.
That was the problem. It was tickets, but it was really, marketed to the older gens.
Yeah, they only sent the invitations out to the class of 1912.
Yeah.
Not good.
I mean, like,
come see this young whippersnapper riff. What?
It's so funny that, like, I mean, dude, one of my grandpa's classmates, my grandpa, if he was still alive, he'd be 91. One of his classmates was there, and it's like my dad really wanted to introduce me to him, which was very sweet. My dad, knew this guy as one of my grandpa's friends, but like he's like escorting him over to me, and the guy's like, "Good job up there." And
so set young man.
And he can't hear me 6 inches from him.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this must have sucked for you.
Definitely got to have him in the front row. That guy was literally just hearing the phone calls on Charlie Brown the entire time. That's all it was to that guy. Just going, fantastic work, Tom.
I mean, it was probably cool. He's like, oh, this is Dan's grandson. I guess that's cool. But like, he's not hearing any of the material. So
I'm kind of blown away that somebody that's like 91 is going to like a high school function.
I know. A lot of props to him.
That's wild.
Yeah, he's out and about.
Good for him. Why not?
I mean, my grandma went to our show in Park Rapids. She's 90.
I don't think she liked my set.
No, she didn't. She told me that.
She told all of us.
Yeah, she did. But she told me, what'd she say to me? She goes, well, because you know what's funny? I don't think she cares about sex jokes. She hates the fuck.
Oh, right.
So she told me, she's like, you need to change your language. And I know that's what she's talking about.
And you're like, I know, I said cum a lot. She's not, cum rules. Stop saying fuck.
Well, they all call it the Effenheimer.
Okay, that's fun. Is that new?
No.
Oh,
that's okay. Like my grandpa used to call it the Effenheimer. I don't know what that comes from.
F-bomb.
Oh, wow. I'm a moron. God damn it. Oh, wow. I've literally never even come close to putting that together.
You're like, I don't know the origin of this little thing. I'm not even going to try to wrap my mind.
Oh, man. That's so embarrassing that I still don't even know that with Oppenheimer in the zeitgeist.
It's really out there. Yeah, F-bomb.
Well, it's so simple.
That rules.
Oh,
Isn't that
God.
fun? I love those little situations where it's just something that, because I would doubt you ever put a ton of thought into it. It was just a thing that was in the world, and you're like, that's something that.
Well, because it kind of sounds like just like a Minnesota, like an Effenheimer.
Yeah. Just that's something my grandpa said. No clue what it means.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe think for 4 seconds.
You know, it's so funny too. My grandpa used to say putzing around all the time. When we'd go, what are you up to? He'd just say, because he'd always just wander around our cabin, the place that you went to. He would always just kind of wander around, and we'd say, "What you up to, Grandpa?" And he's, "I'm just putzing around." It literally means like fucking around, which is so fun. Because as a kid, you're like, fun. I was saying putzing a lot. So I'm like, I'm putzing around because my grandpa always said it. But it's like if you look it up, it's like fucking around.
That rules.
Yeah,
I like putzing. Putzing's got a nice homey feel to it.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, I know I'm not doing anything, and it's fine.
And it's not so harsh.
I'm not fucking around.
I wish you'd have told me this before the show. I'd have replaced every fuck with putts. Grandma would have loved that.
I'm trying to think of how you. Where can you plug that in?
I mean, I don't say fuck in any of my jokes.
I do.
It's just more of like
I say fucking, like I'll use it as a crutch.
Right.
Because it makes jokes funnier.
Because it does make it funnier. I don't know.
Maybe I can throw putzing in there.
Putsy, dude.
Dude, putts off.
Dude, putts off. You don't like these putts and jokes, dude? How about I say come 30,000 times?
Putzing around, not a bad podcast name.
Some would argue a great podcast name.
Putzing around with Tim and Tom.
And we've been loosely in the market for a new name.
Yeah, zero of the week though. But we have no more zeros. We suck at zeros.
I can't find these things anywhere.
If you don't bring a zero next week, we're done with the pod. Okay.
Oh God! All right, I'm gonna be out. Just causing mayhem. Man.
Just like walking around shirtless, waiting for someone to say something.
Just looking gross as hell.
The weird thing is when you're looking for a zero, you probably become a zero.
Yeah. The zero has to present themselves naturally, and I will say this, and this is good news: they are not as common as you think.
No,
people just behaving in a full douchey, unforgivable way, a little bit more uncommon,
and that's good news
than the average bear might think. You know.
Well, we can. That's a good positive vibe to end on. There's not that many zeros out there. There's not as many zeros as we think.
As we thought. That's why we need you, the listener, to send us your zeros.
Send us your zeros, please.
We're only two guys.
Christ.
It's only two of us out in this world. We need to hear about your zeros.
We can't have a world-class douchebag be mean to us every week.
Every single week. It just doesn't happen. All right, let's put a bow on this thing.
Let's wrap this thing. Hey, if you're in New York, this is the only thing I want to plug. In New York, October 5th, the Cutting Room, filming a little thing for Comedy Central. That'll be fun. Hit the... I don't know where the tickets are. If you look up Comedy Central New York, October 5th, they're free, but you just have to apply to them.
Do I get a comp or do I have to do that?
We'll do that because I think you get like a thing for an open bar beforehand too.
Well.
I don't know if I have comps on it, but if just do the ticket application. This goes for everyone listening in New York, honestly. If you do the ticket application and you don't get it for some reason, hit me up. And we'll figure it out, but just do that so that you get the open bar thing.
Hell yeah! And the words of the youth, say less, Tom.
I will say less. Where are you at, Timmy?
Let's see. I'm in. This comes out Thursday. I'm gonna be in Boston, sweet Boston, all weekend. Cambridge all weekend. 9 shows in Boston this weekend.
All Duck Duck Goofs.
5 Duck Duck, 4 Boston Comedy Club.
Let's go.
We're going to be out there riffing and raffing. Might even toss some new at these fat asses, Tom. What do you think of that?
Might as well. They're fat.
They're fat. They need jokes.
No, Boston, you're skinny. You're a skinny little bitch, and we love you.
You're skinny. You're so hot. Hey, tell a friend about the pod. Toss a little like on Spotify, Apple Music.
Send us a zero.
Grandma.
Send us a
zero.
Send us just a what's up? What's going on? We got time. We got time to talk.
Guys? We can chat.
Absolutely. I'll DM you right back.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right. We love you guys. Bye.
He married my sister. Now we're living together. We're